Well, here in the Republic of Ireland for start of the training camp, Evertonians know how much emphasis you and your coaching staff put on fitness and hard work. So is that going to be the main focus for the next few days?
Yeah, I certainly think this early in the pre-season, obviously we had a few days at Finch last week and then travelling out here, intensity will definitely grow this week. They're in good shape, so that's a good start point. You know, players often look after themselves a lot better nowadays, so they come back in pretty good nick. We'll be topping up and we've already done a few tests to make sure where they're at. There's work to be done, but they have come back fit, so that's good.
When you look at the stats from last season, many to go through really, but you look at the pressing, the distance covered by your players, how important a pre-season camp like this to get off to that start, to build that base?
Yeah, but I think over my time here, we've tried to build the emphasis of being how important that is. And I think it is, you know, in and out of possession. You know, you've got to work hard when you're with the ball as well, don't forget. The only way you can do that is fitness and that crossover between literal hard work on the training ground and that builds a mentality to take into performances. And I think we've been pretty good on that since I've been here. And I think last season, particularly towards the end of the season, not only the results, but the way the team went about getting them results, I think it showed a real a physical resilience, I mean, for what is a long season in the Premier League. And I think they showed that they can handle that. We want to build on top of that, of course. So, you know, we're not looking backwards going, oh, well, we're okay then. We want to add in. So we will be looking to add in to their fitness levels, but also, like I say, with the ball and without the ball, and the two ways of a team working in and out of possession.
I was going to ask about that without going into too much detail. We had the first session earlier, so it is a mixture, isn't it? It's not just fitness work; it's plenty of ball work as well.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I first got in, I did the yo-yo test, which we did the other day, and there was a big sort of deal made out of it. It's just a test. It's just to find out where they're at. That's all. And I've got lots of markers down my years. It's one that I've used many times, so I know where players need to be at. They've already done that, and that was good. But behind that, most of what we do really, and modern ways now, you know, very rarely you do literal old school running. There is a day, everyone knows about that, which is my day, which is tough, I would say. And that is just get on the line and get it done. But generally speaking, there's a lot more to it nowadays. You know, we do a lot of ball play, a lot of ball work, a lot of the idea of pressing and recovering and playing through game style scenarios. So we do a lot of that.
That day that you mentioned, won't go into too much, but is that back at Finch Farm you'd expect after this week?
Yeah, well, I won't give too much away because the players, there's always rumours. There was a rumour it was last Friday and they'll get a bit edgy. And I was like, what are you talking about? I've only just got back in. It won't be Friday. So, but there'll be a day when I take control of it and leave it to me.
From your point of view as well, obviously the challenges of last season. How was your summer, and how kind of refreshed and ready to go again are you?
Yeah, it was a decompression really, because you know there's a lot of intensity to it, some big results at the end of the season, a lot of work, a lot of stuff was out of our control, or certainly the players and myself's control. You know, the bigger picture of the club. We hopefully moved on from that. That's parked, and we move forward. You can already tell, obviously, the club in the situation to be careful. Players going out currently, possibly, rather than coming in. But we're looking to adjust that accordingly and the right deals and the right players. So there's still challenges to go on the financial side, but we're in a much better place than we were. A lot of work done by many. So in answer to your question, at the end of the season, a good time for me to switch off and get away from it all, which I did. And then you come back and you're ready and you're fresh to take it on again.
And I know you've not got all your squad, a couple of internationals and a couple of rehabbing as well, but it's important for camps like this, isn't it, for team bonding, new signings to get to know their teammates as well?
Yeah. We want to get as many of the squad out. Obviously, Jordan's an exception to the rule, and Miko's still coming back after a minor setback, nothing major, but he'll join later this week or into next week. A couple of the lads are here with us, the new signings. They'll get a blend of what we do. You know, we still want that feeling in a group. You know, it's important that we've shown that was important to us last year. Very important as it happens last year, not just about, you know, technical and tactical and physical. What about the mental side? What about a group strength? And I think that was on show. And that's an important factor of what we do, and it will be again.
And on the new signings, one of them who's here is Iliman and Day. Brought him in from Marseille. What do you hope he can bring to your squad?
Well, I think he can grow into Everton. I think he can grow into the Premier League. You know, he's reasonably experienced outside of the Premier League, but there is an adaptation towards that. I think he'll enjoy when he's working here, and we'll see what he can bring. But we think he's an adaptable player, midfield player who can create and score. But also, you know, what other skills can he show us? What other parts of his game can we show us? We just want him, first of all, to get involved, you know, feel part of the group and to enjoy it. And then we'll move on with the tactical side and see what we can find from him.
And Tim Irabunam, obviously a young player, still finding his feet, but a chance to develop and add that competition to midfield.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, a different view of his fitness levels and game fitness and that type of thing, his development into the group. as you know, with all of the young players, I tend to leave them alone at first. You know, they've got enough going on when you're new to it and you're meeting all these new people and new experiences, new culture. Then over the pre-season, we'll start talking to him a bit more about details. But yeah, he's still got a bit to do, but he's fitted into the group well.
And Jack Harrison returning with the stats last year, what he gave you on both sides, attacking and defending. How important was it for you to bring him back to Everton?
Yeah, I think as a team player, he was exceptional last year. I think his ability and his quality, I still think there's more to come. I spoke with him about that, the freedom to go and use that, because he is a very, very good technical player. But his willingness to do the right thing for the side, his tactical understanding is really good. And he worked very hard for us last year. We're very pleased to have him back.
We saw Jack out in Miami putting some extra work in the off-season. Dwight came back to Finch Farm early because he wanted to get in the best shape possible. Does that say a lot about the attitude of your squad?
I think the modern footballer, to be fair, not just them two, I think they do look after themselves. Like I say, we tested the other day, the test scores were very good across the board, really. Maybe just a little bit more to do, but nothing too heavy. I think players do look after themselves for a longer period now. They do switch off, that's important. They do have downtime, but they do come back fitter and sharper. Some do it in that style where they'll put it out there, some do it at Finch Farm, some do it in private. The point is, it's up to them, it's their downtime, but come back ready and come back fit. And I made sure that message was clear at the end of last season.
And there's quite a lot of young players out here as well. They've got a chance to impress, haven't they? They always get a chance to impress.
Yeah, and a few have been with us a little bit, you know, over the last season, in and out and around the squad, and a couple got on the bench. But yeah, pre-season is always a good chance to be with the first, and we often take a bigger squad for obvious reasons, in case of injuries. You know, there's no heroes at this stage. Any injuries, get off quick. That way we can adapt the squad. Gives them a good experience, and then we'll see how they go.
And mentioned about the new signings brought in, but as you alluded to, work ongoing, obviously the situation, but I know that work goes on between yourself and our director of football, Kevin Thelwell.
Yeah, that's right. And Kev's worked really hard all summer, don't forget. You know, been on the phone constantly about maybes, and different situations may arise. Can they arise? Some we can push forwards with, some we can't. And so we have to watch what people are coming for our players. And, you know, there's ongoing situations currently that are maybes. We'll wait and see. We are trying to adapt to the market that we're in the best we can and still work within the guidelines of what the situation is at the club. And it's been a challenge ever since I've been here. It goes on being a challenge, but we've shown that we can be very competitive with our signings and mould a team that's competitive. And so that still remains the key, having that competitive edge to everything we do.
When you look at the clear progress that was made last season, you can go all over the stats, but obviously defensively, the points we accrued, the finishing position despite the points deductions. What specifically would you like to do to move on this season?
Not get points taken away, that'd be a good start. Just have a level playing field to work from. Since I've been here, there's been a lot of things to do on and off the pitch, a lot of varying off the pitch situations, the media, the story, the feel around the sort of whole club, really. And I think over the last sort of month or so of the season, that started to change again. Yeah, we started bringing that forward, and I think that connection, that buy-in between everything we were trying to do on the pitch and the fans playing their part, hopefully it became stronger again. Then pre-season is a time to have a view, an overview, if you like, hopefully remodel in some way the best we can with players and come back with that renewed energy again for a new season. And if we can keep that connection and that belief in what we're trying to achieve as a club at this time, very taxing time for many different reasons, everyone knows it now, then I think that's a real powerful thing, you know, for fans to grip hold of. And I think they did at the end of last season. So certainly to build on that. But I've said all along, we're the only ones who can start. On the pitch starts it. The fans play their part without doubt. I've come to learn that. But we are always the catalyst for it. So we've got to make sure we're right as the start point.
I was going to ask about that strong bond that was built since the momentous last season at Goodison Park. As you mentioned, that doesn't mean you're going to get more points. It still means the players have to deliver. But can what it means to have that last season, the historic last season at Goodison Park, make the home form even stronger, the bonds?
Well, you never know. I mean, you'd like to think so, but the power of the home fans has been there. It's been evident. So, you know, we want that to certainly remain. That's the key to it. And if we can build on that, well, then even better. But I've never questioned the fans here, nor will I be doing. You know, it's down to us to, like I said, to be that catalyst for them to join in. It's great to get off to a home start. It's great to get off to a good start, hopefully, and win. But we want that bond to stay from last season. I think it's grown under some really awkward circumstances, really tough circumstances. But the team showed in the end the competitive edge, the mental strength to go through some tough periods last year and overall deliver a decent season, I thought, you know, with all the different challenges. So we want to build on that. That's a start point and try and regress from last season and show that we can move forwards again.
And then before the first league game, we have our first pre-season friendly here in Ireland as well on Friday. I know at this stage of the season it's all about fitness, but how nice will it be to play in front of our Irish fans, and obviously for Seamus as well, all the service that he's given to the club to go back to his former team.
Yeah, I mean, as you probably know, and I mentioned last year, I believed in trying to keep things more regionalised. You know, you have options to go around the world possibly, but I think coming here, I know about the Irish connection with the Evertonians, the fans. It's accessible. We saw fans there today, so it's nice to see them, and you know, Irish fans spend a bit of time with them. A lot of our games in the UK, as you know, are regionalised the best we can to make sure Everton fans can get there. And I think that just helps to all the things I'm talking about. Keep that earthy link between the players, the fans, and what it really is. I mean, the first game is a low-key game. They know that, we know that, but it's a start point. It's just players are playing maximum probably of 45 minutes, you know, and that's it. Unless we get a few injuries, maybe some of the young kids play a bit more, but not too much. There's not a lot of weight on that game. It's getting them out there, getting that feel, that occasion, getting the strip on, all them little things. It's a start point more than anything.